All right, we're back. This is the concluding part of the 2-hour coaching session where he plays Crystal Maiden. Unfortunately, I thought I got into the replay, and I think my replay ended. I must have accidentally closed it instead of pausing or something like that. I'm not sure. Looked like it broke. So what you did this game was you bought 2 Observer Wards, and you bought a Tango, and you did not buy Clarities, and unfortunately I will not act. I was really frustrated by the fact that you didn't get Sentries. The purpose of Crystal Maiden as a support hero is basically to contribute a lot in terms of early mana pool, in terms of roaming, in terms of harass. But the problem is that her base stats are awful. She's one of the worst level 1 heroes in the whole game for the fact that she has very low HP. She only has 520 HP. She has very low armor in 1. Her base damage on average is 40. And her movement speed is only 280. This is bugged. Winlace should put her up to 300. But her overall stats are low. Her mana pool is low. She doesn't offer a lot. But the difference is that Frostbite will kill a neutral creep. It does 1,000 magic damage. So basically, every time that you're playing Crystal Maiden the way you're supposed to play it, is you're supposed to basically start in the jungle. You're supposed to get a fast level 2. And then you're supposed to use that to get your aura, which gives you mana pool. Or you can maybe even grab Nova and try to get a gank off somewhere using 2 skills by level 2, which is fast. So every game should be started. 30 seconds into the game, you stand next to a neutral creep. You attack the largest neutral creep, you run away so that they chase you, and then when it's out here, you cast Frostbite on the large one. All the other ones run back because they de-aggro, and any of their magic resistance auras they bring with them. And then you kill this large creep, and by doing that, it dies. At 53 seconds, you pull it again to stack the camp. Another big creep will spawn, you again attack that one, pull it out, cast Frostbite again, and then by about 1:15 or so, you will have level 2 instantly. So within about 45 seconds there, you should have a level 2. Costs you 2 Frostbites to do it, but things can go bad sometimes. What if you forget to pull it out all the way? What if you don't pull the creep wave all the way out when you do it? What if you cast Frostbite under creeps and they have magic resistance? Well, then they're not going to die to 1 Frostbite. It'll cost you more Frostbites. So always pull out, always. But if you don't do it correctly, you're going to run out of mana. You won't get the fast level 2. And you're going to wish you had Clarity Potions. If somebody shows up and steals the last hit on the neutral and splits the experience 2 ways, then you're going to need to Frostbite more creeps, which is going to require you to have more acceleration there. So that's important as well. Gotta start with Clarity Potions when you're playing Crystal Maiden. Also, if you're smoking in an attempt to try to catch your opponents, this is by far the worst way to try to do that, to walk up and reveal smoke. If any of them are standing here, they're going to be standing here or here. So to approach that, you guys should wrap around on the map, kind of like how you're doing. If you are over here though, put an Observer Ward down. Let your opponents know where you are. Or let your opponents know where your opponents are. But you didn't really give your team the chance to do that. So right now you should be walking over to this large camp. You didn't. Pull this out. Frostbite the Hellbear Smasher. Kill it. And then you can instantly pull the Hellbear and kill that too, because this can die to a Frostbite and it gives about the same experience as the Hellbear. This is the best level in camp for a CM to encounter because then it doesn't force you to stack. You can get the gank off going earlier. And then as soon as you do that, use your 2 Frostbites, you should be almost entirely out of mana, like down here. That's when you pop a Clarity, you walk back to your lane, and then you start laning as a support normally with your fast level 2. So your team just kind of like messed up everything. The Dawn here on the Ursa decided to start jungling. I know it's scary because there's 2 ranged heroes, but I worked this out and figured out the best way for you guys to approach this. And to be honest, as soon as I saw the fact that you basically started getting free experience in your lane, it kind of ruined the whole point of the Crystal Maiden replay, and that you're already not playing the role right. What you should be doing is starting in the lane, and what Ursa should be doing, start in his lane, get a full creep wave of experience by himself, which as you saw is a lot, and then the support can do their thing. Instead, all he did was just AFK jungle, which is frankly not very efficient, and he could have been tangoing this whole time and he didn't. So that's cool. He got a fast level 2, and you guys got a little bit more, I guess, than you could have otherwise, which is kind of a cool thing, but it also meant that these guys were able to split level 2 in the meantime, which just makes it less efficient. So at this point, you're kind of screwed. You do 42 damage. These guys both hit like 10 damage more than you. They also have more regen sources and more survivability sources, and they're just, as a whole, usually faster than you if they're not Nobud. They're about the same speed as you due to you having a Winlace, but you can't really win this fight, and Ursa killing these guys is kind of difficult. So what you should have done instead, if you wanted to, you could start over here, wait for this camp to spawn, pull the Centaur out, Frostbite the Centaur, let him die. These 2 guys go back over here, these 2 little guys that aren't worth that much. And then you walk over to this camp at 53 seconds, you pull the creep wave to stack it, and then when the next creep wave comes, you pull it in. 2 creep waves will kill the entire creep wave. You will kill maybe one of these creeps, get level 2 from either here or from over here. And then when you hit level 2, you can either grab your aura and try to wrap around and kill one of these guys, or better yet, you can grab Crystal Nova. Since you've been mana regen with a Clarity this whole time after you killed the Centaur, you can get Nova at level 2, You can wrap around. Ursa can chase after the Invoker. You can Nova him to disable him and slow him, and then Ursa can just right-click him until he dies, because then you can, after the Nova slow goes away, 4.5 seconds later, then you'll Frostbite him, and then Ursa 100% will have a kill. And that should be about a level 1 Invoker, because you denied the creep wave experience by pulling, and because they only got about 1, maybe 2 waves of experience. Ursa might be level 3 at that point, but more likely level 2. And you would be level 2 for sure. After you kill him, you pop your Tangos. Wind Ranger maybe kills you, maybe not though. Pop Tangos, get your Clarity Potions, resume pulling, finish the pull, get experience. Lane is 1. Keep doing that, rinse, repeat, and you win the game, pretty much. So you messed it up heavily. You need Clarity Potions. Obviously, a lot of this was your Ursa. But what you're basically doing this game is you're standing around. You're not doing anything. You didn't do any of that jungling. You haven't gotten any last hits. Well, you got 1 last hit from a Nova or something. But approaching here just to Frostbite the Invoker doesn't do anything. Frostbite does 150 magic damage, which is reduced to 120. When you're doing 120 magic damage to somebody, and it costs you 100 mana to do it, you're not being efficient. Every time you throw a nuke on somebody, it's only efficient if you nuke them, and you right-click them 2 or 3 times, especially for a disable like Frostbite. You should be able to right-click, Frostbite, right-click, minimum. Get 2 right-clicks in. It's not a lot of damage. It's only 84 physical damage, and it will get reduced down to like 75. But 75 plus 120 is so much more than 120. It's so much more. The problem here is that it's 2 heroes, so every time you Frostbite one of them, the other guy should be right-clicking you back. So you just can't win this trade, and you already messed up the trade because you didn't do your pull, and you didn't get lane equilibrium. Like playing lanes and playing Dota is all about making sure that they get less experience than you do, and that they get less gold than you do. The easiest way to do that is to kill them, because when they're dead, they're not getting experience, they're not getting last hits, and you get gold by killing them, and they lose gold by dying. That's the easiest way to get experience and advantage. But you can get these smaller advantages in the laning stage by pulling, and by using those small advantages to have a level advantage, which leads into you killing the one hero that's much easier to kill, the Invoker. Less movement speed, doesn't have wind run, etc. They're still a little scary, but Ursa can easily tank them due to Stout Shield. Even without boots of speed, he's faster than both of these guys. And that means with Nova on top of this, they should be running at like 220. He should basically have a boots advantage over them. And just even with Fury Swipes level 1 or Earthshock, Earthshock and Fury Swipes is probably the best because you can cast Earthshock multiple times. But even with something like Overpower, it could work. Definitely Earthshock is better though for these early engagements. So you've already kind of messed up your lane. And the problem is that you're basically wasting a lot of time consistently. You're standing here, you're occasionally right-clicking, but very rarely are you ever utilizing the fact that you have a right-click, much like your Oracle game. You just don't really ever right-click, and you need to. And you're kind of just standing around most of the time. You also never placed your Observer Ward. You could have done that in the early game. You could have seen that they were here, killed this guy, stacked the camp, pulled it, after the creep wave dies, walk around, place ward, and then start the gank. But you never really did that. And you just can't harass this guy. He's got Quas regen, he's got Tangos. All you have is trickling in mana over time, which kind of works. But only sometimes do you get a right click in. So something I did in the last one before I realized that my whole clip was actually ruined. I counted how much time you wasted. But before I do that, I want to show you a clip from the Underlord guide that I did, where I had a really good early game. So this is 43 seconds into the game. So if you look on the map, the Invoker is in the offlane. He's being zoned by Disruptor, so he's going to get as little experience as possible. But look how much I get done at the start of the game. I think I have some accelerations too. It might be a little confusing, but I started a pull. I'm preparing to connect. I get 1 last hit there. I get the experience for both of them. I'm connecting the camp now. I'm not going to get the last hit on the last one, but that's okay because I'm a melee hero. I connect the camp, so I got experience for 3 small camps, and now I'm just right-clicking the large camp. In the meantime, Disruptor's zoning. I get that last hit. I missed that one, but I got 2 out of 3 of those, and I eat a Tango here, and now I'm stacking, and I'm checking a rune, and I got a bounty rune. So I'm going to exclude the fact that I stole a kill an Invoker here. But just excluding all of that, I got the experience of 2 neutral camps, and I stacked a wave that I'm going to clear later for efficiency, and I got a bounty rune. You've done none of those things. All you've done is gone to this lane and nuked your opponents a couple times and taken right clicks. That is not an efficient use of a support's time. So it's very, very important that you don't do stuff like that. That you don't stand around and waste time. That's kind of what you did here. So let's start the clock. It's about 3:26. You bought boots finally. And what are you doing? Occasionally right-clicking, but you're scared because you know that every time you right-click, you're going to get pressured. 2 right-clicks, you're getting low. Not really impacting their ability to farm. You almost die here. Invoker really wants to kill, and he ends up getting overly assertive. So we'll start the timer 350. Now, first thing you could have done is walk over here on the way home, kill the large camp, a large creep, just because it gives you a lot more experience. If you're walking that way, you might as well take a small diversion and grab gold on the way home. You bought a salve, you sold it. Oh, you actually sold that late, so you lost 55 gold there too, another mistake. You also bought a TP to TP back to the lane. Now, the purpose of TP in the lane, obviously, is to get there faster, right? So that you can actually contribute, help your Ursa, blah, blah, blah. What you could have done instead, if you TP, is start a pull. Because again, that's where the better experience is. It denies your opponents, and it gives you way better. Even if these aren't worth that much experience, if your creep wave gets denied to them, that's 4 creeps that these 2 heroes aren't getting. And right now it's kind of hard for Ursa. He's actually getting a lot of levels because he's solo experience here, and these guys are splitting. But if you put pulling into this, you could be like level 3 minimum right now instead of level 4. Ursa could be 5, maybe 6, and these 2 guys would be level 2, 3. Or level 3, both of them, instead of them both being almost 4 and 5. And then you can easily kill them. You can show up from the side. They have less skill points. Their nukes do less damage. Invoker's really awful as a dual lane anyways, and then you kind of just easily win. But keep in mind, 355. Oops, I didn't mean to go free camera. You showed up to your lane, you right-click their guys a bit, you take some damage. Have you actually collected any resources? Have you gotten any kills? All you've done basically is some lane aggression. You ended up surviving here again. But the important thing is that you didn't actually do much. You just did some very slight damage to your opponents. You made some pressure that hypothetically gave Ursa a better time, but really he just went and jungled a small camp anyways. Really didn't do very much. You bought another TP. You're going to use another TP. And then you're going to cast a spell. It's been 3 minutes since that point that I started counting when the Invoker died because he overdived on you because you're out of position. And you haven't accomplished anything. You've used 2 TPs. You've barely gotten like 200 points of experience. And you haven't helped Ursa get a kill, which is really where you get a lot of advantage. Now you ended up dying. You're going to respawn, but you died so fast that your TP is still on cooldown. So now you respawn, and you're walking to the top lane. It's been 4 minutes now. It's been about 4 minutes and 10 seconds until you even hit level 5. So 4.5 minutes, 4 minutes 10 seconds, and you get 1 level. You could have gone to the jungle and done that. You could have ganked mid successfully and gotten a kill. You could have set up a kill more efficiently top, killed either Invoker or the Wind Ranger, and you would have changed everything. But you're not collecting your resources. Yes, you're not stealing last hits. Yes, you bought items, you bought wards at the start of the game. But since then, you haven't done anything. You haven't bought a ward, you didn't upgrade the courier. The courier died because it wasn't upgraded, by the way. That gave everybody on your enemy team 170 gold each. You haven't committed a gank, you haven't farmed for yourself, you got that one last hit accidentally earlier, and you got 1 assist when the Invoker overdived on you and died. But you've actually accomplished nothing this game, honestly. So many things you could have done that you just didn't do. Pull, jungle. You shouldn't pick Crystal Maiden if you're not going to do those things, basically. You could pick any other hero. You could pick Ogre Magi. If you're going to play like this, pick Ogre Magi and go and slap heroes, because then you have tons of armor and you trade efficiently. But Crystal Maiden doesn't do that. She's strong because she can jungle easily, get free items, get free levels, use those levels to start roaming is where she gets effective. And then with lots of Arcane Aura levels, she can roam very often. So you'll get a Tranquil Boots, you'll spend some time jungling, then you'll buy a smoke, and you'll wrap around and you'll try to gank mid. Like, if Venomancer is full mana, for example, and you just showed up mid against Dragonite here, God, he has a terrible skill build. If you show up mid against Dragonite, you can maybe kill him. Maybe not with this many Plague Wards, you would need more like Poison Sting or something, but you can maybe kill this guy. Or maybe you show up and gank him at level 2. What I like doing sometimes with CM is I get a smoke when I start, and I pull it out, get 2 creep kills from the large creeps, hit level 2 instantly, pop a Clarity, smoke. And then I run mid, and then you can gank the enemy mid hero at like 1 minute 45 seconds as you as a level 2 and your mid as a level 2 at least, and then you might be able to kill the enemy mid. Look to see if it's a possibility. With the Veno it's not, because you don't have enough damage. He's still like getting Plague Wards and stuff, but there's opportunities like that that you can try to exploit. You definitely could have exploited it this game. Fast level 2, come to the off lane after you do your pull, and then you have Nova Frostbite. That's 250 magic damage. At most, Wind Ranger would have had 120 magic damage at level 1, and Invoker would have had no spells, just right clicks level 1. So you should be able to kill one of these 2 guys with the help of Ursa, who should have been level 2. So all of these things you're not doing well. You're not getting experience, you're not getting levels. The only time you're getting levels now is because the Ursa left. Before, you were just splitting experience. So you're going to hit level 6 before 10 minutes, but it was because you got experience in a very inefficient way. Basically just by standing there and splitting experience with the Ursa. The Ursa's been far more efficient than you this game. So this is not the right way to play support. Get your wards down, buy Flying Courier, Do a mix of pulling. Be efficient with your time as well. It's not just, you're not just supposed to sacrifice or whatever. You're supposed to sacrifice by not taking creep waves, but you're supposed to succeed by ganking, by pulling and denying your opponent's experience. You being efficient denies them experience. You're removing experience from them, giving it to you, kind of. And then you're using that advantage to make plays and laning it advantage. So that's the major ways that you're misplaying Crystal Maiden here. So it's a really big deal. I don't think it's worth looking at her anymore in this game. CM should be making pressure. You've done almost nothing. If you don't have even farm to back it up. Minimum, you should be getting farm advantage, like level or gold advantage. But Crystal Maiden's really only good if she turns it into fights that get her kills or assists. That's how CM wins games. Like I said, much better heroes you could play than CM if you're just going to stand in a lane and try to harass people. So let's hop into the last game. Hopefully my XSplit doesn't decide to stop recording again. Unless I might have pressed a button. Oh, that's what I did. I was typing in the match ID and my hotkey for pause recording on XSplit is on the numpad. That makes sense. Okay, I'm an idiot. I'll type it on this instead. Nice, didn't stop the recording. Hell yeah. You play Dazzle this game. Dazzle's a better example of maybe a support that you can do that. You can do like more passive farming kind of stuff. Okay. So, looks like you start with a little bit less gold than usual. I like your starting items. This is really good. Tango 2 clarities. This is perfect. Well, I mean, you got all this gold. You got 185. You should spend it. Don't save your gold. If you're a support in the early part of the game, I don't think it's worth saving your gold. You could have a circlet. You could have a salve with another ironwood branch. I think that's better than doing what you did. It looks like you didn't buy a courier, is why you have a little bit more gold. Looks like you'll easily be able to get binary. Looks like you're doing a dual offlane. These aren't good. You should be doing tri-laning probably, but for your MMR, it's probably okay. I don't like the fact that you blocked that large camp. This is your camp for pulling, actually. It's their camp for pulling too, but it's also your camp for pulling. All you have to do is kill one of these trees or don't, and just pull the creep wave over when your creep wave will meet. When the creep wave is like here, is when I'd start the pull to the right, and you should only do this when the creep wave is pushed up towards your opponents. If you do it right now, it's not going to work because those creeps are fighting. But if they're solo, you can get something done with it. This is good. I like that you wrapped around to right click. I think it's important to do it far away from creeps. This is good so far. Keep right clicking him. He also pushed the wave, which is great. Alright, this is by far your best support performance. Look how much damage you did to that guy. And that you didn't even spend mana. You could have cast Poison Touch, but you didn't. And it's okay that you didn't, in my opinion. Huge lane control coming out of this. This is how every game should go as support. Again, walk past creep wave. You're doing a perfect job. Alright, you're doing way better here. This is wonderful. Small mistake there getting hit, but not a big deal. Getting this with your early gold I think is okay. I think it's harder now with the sniper showing up, but yeah, this is fine. Dazzle often buys this anyways. Just make sure that if you do cast Poison Touch, you also attack him. Because, yeah, there you go. Now he has the -2 armor on him. Oh, looks like Wraith King's just going to feed. Huge mistake by Wraith King. Looks like you guys kind of just sat in shrapnel damage. You weren't quite ready to win a fight there. You needed minimum, like, Shadow Wave. For that reason, I maybe wouldn't have gotten Poison Touch level 1, just because the advantage that you get from Shadow Wave is a bit better. Because if you use it in melee range against an enemy hero, you're healing yourself for 80, and you're doing 80 physical damage, which is a huge swing. That's a 160 HP swing between your opponent and you. Don't stand the shrapnel. I still would probably... Oh, there's an invis. That's a little unlucky. I think that was still okay, though. I think you made the right decision. I would not buy Sage's Mask first. You should be getting boots first. Almost for sure. You bought a TP. But once you buy it, whatever. It happens. But Medallion, it shouldn't be your rush. Your rush should be Boots of Speed. Probably, with maybe Windlace. Or Ironwood Branch is another good one. Glad you last hit that when your Wraith King wasn't going to. Also, I maybe wouldn't get Grave level 3. I would perhaps prioritize Shadow Wave, but it's kind of a hard decision to make. Your camera position is awful right now. Look at your opponent. You don't even know if the Wraith King could go on him because your camera wasn't in the right place. You should be eating a Tango. You're missing over 100 HP. In fact, you're missing, yeah, just enough to use a Tango. Again, your camera positioning is terrible. Don't look at your hero. You don't need to look at your hero. You need to look to see where their heroes are. You should know where your hero is. I like that you tried to deny these. That was good. But your camera position is still really weak. Don't worry too much about him getting a free catapult. That doesn't matter that much. I think you're playing this game much better than your other ones, though. But that's partially because when you do duel offlane, it's more like standing around fighting your opponent more than it is like pulling. It's clear that you're not comfortable pulling or using neutrals in most of your games, but you definitely need to. You need to take advantage of that. The only reason that the wave has always been in a good place as well is because they're bad and they keep throwing their nukes down on the wave, so that's why it's always pushing. But if the creep equilibrium was more equal, then the creep wave might push up sometimes, and then that would lead you to doing side pulls. So in this case, it's okay that you block that camp, but in all reality, they should have been pulling small camp and then pulling left to the medium camp this whole time, and getting experience advantage over you. You're also still kind of ditching your Wraith King a little bit here. He's coming forward, he's trying to do aggressive things, and you're not following up. This is a mistake because he doesn't have much mana, and now he's actually in a bad place where you kind of lost all of your team's opportunities to fight, because even if, yeah, he misuses mana a little bit and you guys have clarities and stuff, but you got to back him up a little bit. You have a huge mana pool. Dazzle is by far one of the best supports in the very early stage of the game in terms of laning, and you've proven that here. Right-clicking, Poison Touch does 150 physical. Shadow Wave in a melee range does 80 physical. If you do that with 2, it's 160. It's a really good skill. But you gotta take advantage of those things. Like, you can easily beat a Bloodseeker sniper lane. It's one of the worst lanes I've ever heard of. Dazzle with Wraith King though, that's really good. You can once you hit level 2 basically, you guys should not lose that lane. He throws a stun. You right click the hero, you throw Poison Touch, then when Wraith King gets in melee range, you cast your heal to get some extra damage in. Like, it's so strong. And you're just kind of losing this lane because you're just passively farming again. You're getting way too inactive. Yeah, and this whole time, you could have been right-clicking. All you did there was cast your spell. Right here. Alright, you cast Poison Touch, and instantly you run because you're scared. You shouldn't be scared, it's a Bloodseeker, he's level 4. He doesn't have his ultimate. Sniper doesn't have his ultimate, all he's going to do is right-click you. But who gives a shit? Walk in, you throw Poison Touch, and you slap that guy, and instantly you walk away. You could hit him once here. You could hit him twice here. You could hit him 3 times here. And look who would be dead right now. That's 3 right clicks on him. And you never even applied the debuff of Blightstone, which is -2 armor, which is about 12% damage increase for your Poison Touch, for your Shadow Wave, for both of your right clicks. If you right click this guy 3 times with Blightstone, he would be dead right now. And instead, Wraith King's going to die, and you're not even going to kill him. Sniper's alive. It's because you didn't right click. You just stopped right clicking. You can't stop right clicking. That's most of your damage. You didn't apply your Blightstone. Why'd you buy a Blightstone if you're not going to right click him? Could have bought Boots of Speed or something to run away faster when you get scared. Like, and now you lose your lane. They've got Boots advantage. You didn't kill any of them when they were a terrible dueling. It's a freaking Bloodseeker sniper. That's the dumbest lane I've ever heard. They have like no control. They have very low damage. They don't do anything good until like they're 6, or if Sniper gets trapped on levels, which he does have. That's cool that he got them. Smart of him, but he also doesn't have Boots. It's like one of the slowest heroes in the game. Pretty bad. He's got really good overall stats, but his base strength is low. Wraith King can easily win this, especially with Vampiric Aura. Both you and Wraith King have 15% lifesteal at this stage in the game. That's really good. Instead, he's going to get right-clicked down, probably, by Bloodseeker. No, because we get some rope, but you're not doing your job as a support. And if you buy a chainmail, they really... Oh, God, please get Boots. Boots, and, what's the other word? Windlace. Boots, Windlace is what you buy. Not this stuff. It's disgusting. I mean, it's cool and all, you got a fast medallion, but it's not even like you're using the skill. It's not even like you're using it very well either. And even if you want to do it aggressively or something with Poison Touch, then why not get more Poison Touch levels maybe? Like if you Poison Touch a medallion, yeah, the damage increases, but it's not much when you only have 1 point in Poison Touch, is my point. So I'm definitely disappointed. You played the first like minute and a half, you played really well, but then you have to transition into Boots to have that advantage. And this time you walked all the way back just to grab your items from the courier. That's not worth it. You could have stayed in lane and let the courier come to you, and then you would have been there for the Bloodseeker kill. You guys should have had like 5 kills by now. Your lane is heaps better. Heaps better. Not even close. Not a huge fan of the place you put the ward either. It's okay, but get last hits if nobody's last hitting. 'Cause then you can get a faster Boots of Speed.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
If you had Boots, you would have casted that earlier. Get your medallion, which is good.
Dire's middle tower
He will die to
is
your
under attack.
poison, I think.
Radiant's bottom
No,
tower
maybe not. He's
is
gonna have to
under
nuke him.
attack.
Oh, nice, it did kill him. Okay. But yeah, if you had a higher level in poison, probably would have died more rapidly. I don't know. If he had Boots' speed, he would have died faster because he would have right-clicked him earlier. Stuff like that. It all adds up. But yeah, don't go this build. You gotta get Boots first. You can't, like, maybe if you panic buy the Sobi mask, whatever. This was a mistake. He's so much faster than you when you don't have Boots. And now you die. Carry TP. Don't stand that behind tower when there's a Bloodseeker. Your items look pretty good now. I like these. Similar principle as the last game. Don't TP to a lane and vision. I'm sorry, the Oracle game. Don't TP in a lane and vision that your opponent is ganking. Like if Lena's ganking here or something, like let her gank. I don't know why you're trying to cast Medallion when you're that far away as well. You're so far. You wasted like a ton of your time. As has Wraith King. Wraith King should have sat in the lane, or you should have sat in the lane. There's creeps dying right now that nobody's getting experience for. This is that like group S5 in the middle of the game. Like don't stand around and do this. It's such a waste. There's 4 creeps here. You can't all farm them. You're splitting experience. Nobody's getting experience in the safe lane right now. Like okay, you killed that guy, but he's an idiot. That's the only reason he died. Oh, that was close. Yeah, you're not utilizing your time very well. You could have more levels. Like you and Wraith King could just dual lane bot lane and get like 5 kills in that lane. It'd be really easy. So I think this game is almost entirely lived out its usefulness. I think. Maybe that's not true. I'll just keep playing it at 1x speed. Also want to check to see how long the first clip was. Doesn't say. What if I played incoming double purge? Hello, buddy. This is 1.5 hours. Okay. So you TP'd back to base from being mid because you were low on HP. What I prefer you do instead is walk back then TP out. Because if you TP back, there's no way that you can get anywhere rapidly if you need to. If you walk back and then prepare to TP, if there's a gank that happens after you're in base regenning, then you can actually be there. Does that make sense? So if you TP back instantly, there's no way that you can be anywhere for like 40 seconds. If you walk back, then you have this like 20 to 30 second window where you can't TP anywhere. Well, it's way more than 40. Yeah, it's probably 40 or so. If you walk back and then can TP, in less than 25-30 seconds, in 30 seconds you can be anywhere on the map. You can change your mind. If you TP back, then you have to walk and commit. If that makes sense. Also, the distance from the mid lane to Fountain is way shorter than the distance from Fountain to top lane. So it's actually better to walk back and TP if you're going to a lane other than the mid lane, especially in the off lane. The off lane is really far away for both lanes. I'm sorry, the safe lane is really far away from the base for both lanes. So I think that was inefficient. Your items are much better this game. Buy Magic Wand. Always buy Magic Wand to support every single game. Buy Magic Wand. You really need Magic Wand. And now, kind of similar thing as before, you came forward, and now your opponents know that you're here. Not the biggest deal ever, but I would have liked it if you would have snuck over here, maybe put a ward on the high ground, or put a lane ward down as you approach. Now they see you with an observer ward, they may de-ward you. You're also trying to push the wave, which is good. This is fine, you're doing this cool and all. Your weave I thought was good, that was okay. I would buy Arcane Boots now, I think. Based on what you're playing. You could have put this ward down earlier and it would have been safer. Alright, you got your Arcanes, that's good. Still need a Magic Wand. You should have a Raindrop as well, probably. I'd maybe skip Raindrop this game, because Bloodseeker's really the bigger threat, but... You could stack camps here. Oh, it looks like you're about to, but they were a little bit late. Did you stack this one? Oh, nice, you do stack camps, cool. Stack small camp for somebody from, that's cool. Walking across the map to heal this bro. Oh, Medallion. Okay, he made a terrible mistake and he dies, that's cool. Backing him up. Oh, I would have gone aggressive actually. I would have tried to kill the Invoker there, or the SF, because you've got Poison Touch. He's got his ultimate. Oh no, he doesn't. Oh, it's on cooldown still. Oh, he used it before. I don't remember that. Oh, that guy's really making a huge mistake. Also, you gotta watch more. You got too scared, dude. If you see a hero, it doesn't mean just run for the hills. Your Dazzle. Like as soon as you walk out of the shrapnel range, just watch your icons. You'll see if the Assassinate's coming, and then you can get a better view to see, oh, is Sniper dying? Is somebody going in? Because right there, I don't think you got AoE gold, and you didn't get experience for the Sniper dying, which is not good. You should have been able to get that. I think you're playing way too scared here. You also need, you need to carry sentries because of the clinks. Maybe that's why you're scared, but you shouldn't be worried. He doesn't have an Orchid yet. You should have been able to click on him at some point during the game. He's only got treads right now. He doesn't have an orchid. Once he gets orchid, you gotta be scared. But before he gets orchid, you can just grave TP every time. It's kind of the case for actually any hero on the enemy team. None of them are in any way difficult to escape from. So you guys have really strong 5-man this game. Like, you're moving around, you're kind of using your skills well, but your laning stage could have been much better. But this, I think this playstyle that you're doing fits you so much better than Crystal Maiden's does. Because Dazzle's pretty straightforward. You stand in the lane, you help your team win the lane, you do damage to heroes. Crystal Maiden has worse skills, arguably, in some ways, in the laning stage at least. Far worse stats too. That was not a useful... I like that weave. I actually like that weave a lot. That's good. I think you're playing Dazzle much better than you're playing CM, that's for sure. Just remember that all supports are very different in terms of what their strengths and weaknesses are. Dazzle's strengths and weaknesses are very different than what CM's are. CM is good at like offensive movement around the map, giving mana pool while farming. Dazzle's like a very strong lane support. He helps your lanes a lot. I also wouldn't have left. I think you really messed up here by walking back to base. What you could have done instead is walk to the creep wave all the way down here. I don't know why my map clicks aren't working. Walk all the way down here, stand in the melee range, nuke this. You get 3-4 last hits. Then you kill the range creep, and then the next creep wave comes, and you kill that one too, and then you TP home. Something like that is better. This is 250 gold. You're probably scared right now because you're like, oh, it's the enemy's jungle. This is really terrifying. But the reality again is, well, if you had TP, you'd be fine. You could grave TP always, but you should be able to look at this and say, hey, that's free gold. That's pretty safe. And yeah, maybe you want to be top. Maybe you want to be partying with these guys. Do you have to? It's not a big deal. It's not a huge deal if you're not there. I mean, you should probably be there, but I would probably be greedy. I don't think they should be death pushing. This is more on them. Death pushing at tier 2 at 18 minutes in. I don't know if they need to do that. You guys kind of can do that, but if they're... The only reason this works basically is because your opponents are really bad at spreading out and getting farm. If they show up and they all stand here and think like, hey, they're taking our towers, maybe we should try to slow this down, and there's 3 heroes standing there, and then your team still takes the towers, then they've wasted time. What they could do instead is put Clinks or Sniper here, throw it on a shrapnel, kill the creep wave, or at least delay the push, while Bristleback's jungling, while Bloodseeker's jungling and pushing bot lane, while the other hero is pushing mid. Then they're farming more than you guys are. They should collect more gold, which they can eventually use to take a fight, or at least offset what the towers do. And that way, when they end up going high ground, then they should have a semi-equal battle. So what you can do is, ideally, those guys don't push. If they do 5 men like that, you should probably be with them, which is part of the hard part. So I'm guessing you're probably walking back to base to heal, to TP to the top lane, I'm guessing. Yeah, it looks like you did do that. So that was okay. But either way, spend your gold, bring a magic wand, bring a raindrop, something like that. Pop them arcanes too. Okay. Got a sentry down, which is cool. So yeah, this kind of works, but that's mostly because they're bad players. So I think it's okay for you just to 5-man like this as a Dazzle with heroes like this, but you're not really playing the game right, technically. I would have liked to see the dive, but I guess this mana was low. You're utilizing your skills real well. Grave TP? Oh, you don't have one. You didn't buy one. Oh, you could Shadow Wave. If you Shadow Wave there, you would have done a lot of damage. Doesn't matter, you're all dead. You still, yeah, buy TPs, Magic Wand. All that shit matters a lot. You've been respawned for a bit, I think. I'm not sure what you're going to buy next. I'm guessing you're going to buy like a... It looks like Yule's. I'm going to guess you're going to buy Yule's, but that's a terrible mistake. It should be a 4-staff. But I'm quite sure you're going to buy Yule's, because a lot of new players buy Yule's because they think it's better. It's not actually. 4-staff is almost always superior. Maybe not against Bloodseeker, it's a bit iffy, but against all these other heroes, 4-staff is a lot better. So you're pretty much just continuously pushing lanes. This is good, but you could do it bottom. You could have walked mid here, head to the bot lane, start pushing the bottom lane. And by doing that, you're farming 3 creep waves. Nice. All chatting we could Rosh is a bit of a mistake. But Roshing is actually a really good idea because you have a medallion. I maybe wouldn't have committed to this after you all accidentally all chat we could Rosh, but here you are. Is Wraith King gonna die? Oh, also don't medallion your ally. Medallion Rosh. You want Rosh dead faster. Rosh is the one you should be. Maybe you misclicked, I don't know, but killing Rosh is good. Oh, and then you go back mid. That's cool. I like that. It's efficient. Saves you some time from walking. Your weave's a little early, I believe. Basically, if you had done those like solo things that I talked about, or maybe some pulling, you could be like level 11 right now, I think. Start the heals. You did it. That was good. I would use Medallion on the BS aggressively. Again, your positioning has been very, very off most of the time. Oh, he got messed up. Like every time that you get scared, you recenter your hero with your camera, and you really don't need to. You still need to focus on your allies way more. Like it's very difficult for me to tell exactly what's going on in your little engagements, just because of the position of your camera. It's hard to see. I bet if you rewatch yourself from your perspective, you're also gonna be confused. Especially like a game that you haven't seen in a while, or a game that you don't remember, you're gonna be really confused about what was actually happening. And it's basically just a panic thing. You don't really understand the heroes as well. But that's why it's important to move your camera more. I don't know if you're... Oh, you did force up. Nice. Props to you. You proved me wrong. Force is better. Almost always. Especially as a hard support. Although, it's actually okay to have Yules this game because there will be an Orchid on Clinks, in which case you need it. But, yeah. Yeah, this guy already built mech, so you're not going to want to build Greaves. So I think this actually would have been an okay Yules game. Oh well. Well, most times, Yules is far worse. Get these last hits. That's 3 last hits you could have had for free. It's 150 gold. 200 gold there. Right there. 200 gold. You could have 4 staff. Done. But you didn't, because you didn't last it. Also, you should max this out. If you put it to 3 levels, you should do 4. Cooldown goes down by 4 seconds, and you get a 1 second stun. Huge difference between that and a 1 second slow. I get that Grave is pretty good, but if you get 3 points, max it. Especially against this many melee heroes. Looks like they kind of gave up at this point too. They didn't really know how to deal with the split pressure, pretty much. Weave is good. I would also, you should be looking down here occasionally to see how the rest of your team is doing. You're focusing way too much. See, basically what you should do is, let me see how you do this. Okay, this is your problem. The easiest way to go from somewhere else to looking at your hero is to double tap your hero hotkey. You should have a hero hotkey. For me, I use 1. So for example, if I look bottom and I see what's going on down there, but then when I want to see where my hero is, I double tap 1 and my camera instantly centers on my hero. Goes back to it. That way if I really want to find my hero, I know that I can instantly do it because I just double tap 1. So you should be always moving your camera other places. And then if you want to move your hero, double tap 1 and then start right clicking. That's the best way to do it. But right here, the way that you're doing it is you're kind of just edge panning to constantly move your camera around. It's really inefficient. You need to rely on double tapping to get places more rapidly. So you got 4 staff. You still don't have 1. Buy 1, please God. Please buy 1. Please. Please buy 1. It's so efficient. It's like a bracer for 450 gold, and it gives you burst heal, which is OP. Burst heal's OP, man. Oh, that was scary. Yeah, whatever. I went to weave there, but whatever, man. Whatever. I like your words. I think they're useful. I would medallion the bristle, not the allies. Because you're way ahead, so you should focus more on killing your opponents, I think, than protecting yours. I'm glad you put a sentry down. That's really good. Although you should have been placing higher up here. The sentry should have been like here, rather than down here. But I don't think you realized that I think you forgot that the Rax was gone. So well done. You could have also medallioned the Bloodseeker. He shouldn't have taken you with you. I don't know why he did. That was really stupid. Because Underlords are bad, I guess. He probably seems like you typed LOL or something. He probably apologized. Like your levels are just so behind. It's 30 minutes in and you're just now hitting level 12. And you guys have been owning. You've been in so many kills. You've been in 15 kills or something, and you're still only level 12. Like your poison touch could have been so effective. I don't think you bought any. I don't think anybody did. Yeah, you could have bought Tomes of Knowledge as well to accelerate your level gain. You could be like level 13 right now if you just bought Tomes of Knowledge. Far more efficiently, buy Tomes of Knowledge with extra gold, use that to transition your levels, and boom, you're in a good spot. So, okay, so I would say Dazzle fits your playstyle way better in the sense that you often stand in the lane and cast spells, but you can play all of your supports heaps better. Pulling camps, using your mana efficiently, zoning enemy heroes, Right clicking for damage. Always, 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 always. Right clicking for damage is really important. Easy mid. Was it? They were kind of equal in some ways. This guy didn't play that bad, but mostly efficiency. Yeah, you should have like probably 45 last hits this game, I think, just from pushing lanes. If you push a lane, it's really easy to have last hits gold per minute. Your GPM's still really bad for a losing game. 273 is really low. You should be minimum like 330. So you're definitely playing inefficiently. Laning, you guys should have had way more kills. You should have killed Sniper and Bloodseeker like 3 times before they even got boots. And constantly harass them and done things like if Bloodseeker's about to last hit a creep, you just heal it. And then it'll heal the creep, he'll miss his last hit, and it'll harass him. So you get little trades like that in. There's lots of little tricks you can do in the laning as Dazzle to beat him. So okay, I think that's pretty much everything. You did tell me to, let me quote you, tell you why you suck, and I think I clarified that. If anyone else wants coaching in the future, I don't have to upload these to YouTube, but you gave me permission, so I'm going to because I think it's useful occasionally. Anyone else that's watching, I hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry I split the videos up, but again, I accidentally stopped recording on one of them because my hotkey's in a stupid place, kind of. Yet, so here I am. But that's pretty much everything. I should put on like page up, like a button I'll actually never press in my whole life. No, I actually use those for casting though. Dang it. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. I will see you later. Please go out there and learn basic principles of Dota. Practice them. Practice the pulling. Practice the last hitting. Practice the efficiency. That is how you raise your MMR. This guy's okay at casting spells, but the reality is he's very inefficient with spending his time and collecting resources, and that is why he's 1k MMR and not 2k MMR. That's entirely it. Never pulls. Doesn't right click. Those are the main reasons. You can be better. Everybody can. Okay, thanks for watching. If you guys want to pay me money for me to flame you, then I'm totally down. $50 per hour. Can watch whatever replays you want. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. Goodbye. Have a good day.